So I hope you guys did the exercise just now of why are you here. Okay, so before we begin, our high performance coaching, getting you to the next level in life, let me just tell you a little bit of a story of how I came across high performance. I remember just a couple of years back, I was really struggling with my career, which I had what the people might call inner conflict, and that resulted into a poor relationship with my family, a poor relationship with my wife, with my kids, and then I started sabotaging myself. I felt the loss of motivation, the loss of drive. So because of that, I knew that something I needed to change, because I knew that if I keep on going, or if I keep on doing exactly what I was doing at that time, um, it will not be a happy ending for me. So I knew that by hook or by crook, something needs to change. And from there, I started learning about personal development. So I started picking up my first book. Of course, when you want to learn personal development, the first book I took was from Mr. Tony Robbins, the number one coach in the world. So I bought some of his books. I attended some of his course. I did some of his modules, his audiobooks, and it really completely changed me at that time. And from there, it led to me to learning about neuro-linguistic programming, which I fell in love with psychology, and then from there it led me into cognitive behavior therapy, and which just made me love more about human behavior. But however, I found out that even though that NLP and CBT is really good for everyone, but I felt like it wasn't the right fit for me. So I was doing pretty well at that time, but I knew that something was missing. And I wanted to reach that next level in life, but I didn't have the clarity. I didn't know what is it that I want with my life. So that's when I realized that even though I learned all those things, I still need more change in me. So that's when I found high performance coaching. High performance coaching taught me two things. There's only two things that's going to change your life. Either number one, something new comes into your life, or number two, something new comes out of you. So if you guys are watching this at home, you will have your notes, and inside your notes you will have like a where's the camera here? Where's the the camera's over here. Okay, so you have the red mark. So inside your book that's empty, so you just write it down into. Okay? And so there's only two things that change your life. Either something new comes into your life, or something new comes out of you. So at that time, I knew that, wow, okay, so if I wanted to change something, I'm not gonna wait for something new to come into my life, and I gotta find something new. I gotta deep dig deep down inside myself to just find that drive, that push to just take me to the next level. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to high performance. So, what is high performance? So, high performance is the achiever's secret. So, if you want to achieve great things in your life, then high performance is the number one tools and techniques that you need. Because I knew that when I'm talking to you through this video, I do not know you personally, but I do know that you're struggling, because everybody is struggling. It's either you're great with your family, but you might be struggling with your work. You're great at work, you might be struggling financially. You're great financially, you might be struggling with your family. You're great with your family, with your finances, with your work, but you might be struggling spiritually. So everybody is struggling somewhere, somehow in their life. So that's what high performance is about. High performance is about achieving all that wheel of life, your health, your family, your relationship, your spirituality, your forgive me, English is not my first language. I apologize. Your business, your career, whatever it is. So high performance is all about reaching to that level and then go beyond it. That's the secret. When we look at all these people that's making like great things in life, they're contributing, they're doing great things in the world, And these are the high performers. And what we're going to do is that we're going to learn about them, and we're going to learn about what's their secret. Okay? You game? Great. I'm excited to be here. And once again, let me just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for choosing me as your trainer, as your coach, and I will do my best to deliver you a world-class training. Great. So, high performance means excelling and succeeding above standard norm. So what does standard norm means? Standard norm is different from each and every one of you. So if you're a mother, your standard norm is different if you are a father. If you're a businessman, your standard norm is different than if you are a corporate worker. And if you're a corporate worker, your standard norm is different than if you're a politician. So everybody's standard norm is different. So high performance means excelling and succeeding above that standard norm. But however, the key here, what makes high performance really, really excellent, and has been a topic that I love so much, is that you're excelling and succeeding consistently. That's the key here, guys. Consistently over the long term. That's what it is. Okay? Because consistency is everything. Because everybody know that if you want something, you got to stay consistent. If you want something, you got to stay consistent. Because why? Consistency is just another word for repetition. And we all know from the from the world famous Tony Robbins, he said that repetition is the mother of all skill. Did I say resistant or repetition just now? I don't know. I don't know. But what I wanted to say is that consistency is another word for consistency is repetition. Okay? So we all know that repetition is the mother of all skill. Okay. All right, guys. We're having fun here. All right? So that's what high performance is. It's about excelling and succeeding above your standard norm consistently over the long term. We're not talking about exceeding over a week, over 2 weeks, over 3 weeks. No, it's about the long term. Okay? Because high performance is that. High performance is not doing your best when it's convenient for you. High performance is not doing your best when it's easy for you. High performance is not doing your best when the mood is there. High performance means doing your best even if you are at the lowest level of your life. High performance is doing your best even if you have zero money in your bank account. High performance is being that great father or mother to your child even if you had a bad day at work. That's what high performance is, guys. It's not when it's convenient. High performance comes when it's at the least expected place. Is when you're at your lowest. That's when you perform. Okay? So, you might be thinking, wow, that's a really good explanation, Dr. Ray. I hope it's good. And for some of you, you might be thinking, okay, I understand that. Yeah, all right, get to the point. Okay, so guys, I don't want you to be the yeah guy, all right? I know that some of you're already a high performer and you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm just give me the knowledge and then just let me do it. Guys, just take the time here. Just pause for a while and just go with me slowly, step by step, because this is a process. And in order for us to achieve high performance, we need to go through step by step, because that's when the change starts to happen. Great. So you might be thinking, all right, so is there any other definition of what high performance is? Okay, let me just tell you what it feels like now. So high performance is the feeling of full engagement. Let me repeat that. Full engagement. Now, let me ask you something. I remember when I was struggling at a few years back, or even a few weeks ago, and I was struggling, and I know the reason why I was struggling. Because you're struggling, most probably is because you're not engaged. The reason why you're struggling with your kids is because you're not engaged with them. The reason why you're not struggling with your business is because you're not engaged with your business. The reason why you're struggling with your career is because you're not engaged with your career. The reason why you're struggling with your health is because you're not engaged with your health. So high performance is the feeling of full engagement. So you're engaged with everything. You're engaged with your wife. You're engaged with your I don't know, your boss, your colleague, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. So when you're with them, you're fully engaged. That's a whole different life. That's a whole different level of living. Because why? As we all know, that sometimes we are unconscious of what it is that we do. And most of us are living on what we call automatic. And I will talk to you more about this later in the videos. But what high performance feel like is that number one, you feel fully engaged. And number two, you feel joy. And you bring joy to the people. You bring joy to your relationship. You bring joy in your business. You bring joy in your health. You bring joy in your career. You bring joy in financially. And last but not least, the feeling of confidence. Because I'm looking at my notes here. Because we all know that confidence is basically the skill that you need in order for you to up your skill. Because why? Because you have the confidence and competence loop. The higher your confidence is, the more competent you become. Competent means skill, or means getting good at something. So the higher your skill become, the higher your confidence become. The higher your confidence become, the higher your skill. So you guys can see that I'm like kind of doing the Spider-Man dance over here. Okay? So high performance feels the feeling of fully engaged. So you will experience it. You will feel fully engaged. You will feel joy, and you will feel confidence that come. All these three things come from where? It comes from consistently living from and into our full potential. This is what high performance is, guys. This is not some forgive my language. This is not some crap that you learn about reaching your full potential. You do this and that and that. No, this is a system. This is something that has been created, has been studied, and has been practiced all over the world by high performers. This is not something that just came out yesterday. So this is what high performance really feels like. Engage, joy, and confidence. So when you have engagement and joy and confidence, what does it create? So high performance is created by Brendon Burchard, one of a person that I truly respect, and right now, currently, who is my mentor. I look at him as my mentor. This guy has helped me come out of the rut that I was in. And this guy was the guy who created high performance coaching. And he created a lot of programs. So you guys can look him up. His name is Brendon Burchard, a really just awesome guy who just loves people. He supports people in the personal development, and he is one of my top mentor at the moment. So high performance in our lives is the result of heightened and sustained level. So it means heightened and sustained level. So heightened and sustained level of what? Of number one, clarity. Because we all know that clarity is everything. Because when you have clarity in your life, you'll have more choices. So when you have more choices, you will have more goals. So when you have more goals, you will have growth. So when you don't have clarity in your life, you won't have any choices. When you don't have any choices, you won't have any goals. So when you don't have any goals, you don't have any growth. So if you guys are watching this, I know that some of you are high performers, and I know that some of you are currently struggling with your life. And let me just tell you one thing. The reason why you're struggling is because you're not engaged. And number two is that you don't have that clarity. Because as us, as human beings, we were made to grow into something, to grow into being a great father, a great mother, or a great business owner, or to create something, to do something. That's growth. And when you don't have clarity, that's when stuff hits the fan. Okay, so high performance is all about having clear clarity. Okay, clear clarity on what is it that you want to be, to do, to achieve, to share, to make in your life. And secondly is about energy. So high performance, they have this what they call a way to measure our energy. So when we talk about energy, so there's three types of energy: physical energy, mental energy, and emotional energy. So high performers, they know how to increase their physical energy, how to increase their mental energy, and how to increase their emotional energy. Because let me tell you something. Right now, the fastest growing, booming business in the world, as of now, is energy drinks. Because let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How would you like to have more energy in your life? Because everybody wants more energy. I know I would. So, everything that you want to do in life, it requires energy. So, wouldn't it be great if we can just generate that energy consciously, huh? Huh? Without having to rely on sports drink or high spike sugary drink and all this what we call pre-workout drink. Okay, so energy, they have heightened and sustained level of energy. And number three, courage. High performers share their emotion, they share their ideas, they share their feelings or oh man, I love the words. Okay, they express themselves really well. They have that courage to express themselves really well. Because I know that because I have been training and motivating and coaching people for the past 10 years, and I've taught, I think, more than 30,000 people now in person. So I don't know how much people I've taught through my courses, but in person I've taught more than 30,000 people. And some of them, when I was training or when I'm doing like a couples coaching or a couples training, and I found out that the number one reason why people are having conflict is because they fail to express themselves. So high performers, they know exactly how to express themselves. They're not afraid to express themselves. They have that courage to share their idea, to tell people what is it that they want, at the same time taking care of the other person's feeling. And number four is productivity. High performers have what they call a PQO. What's a PQO? PQO means prolific quality output. They know exactly the type of output that they need to be producing on a daily basis. They know what is it that they need to produce as a good mother. They know exactly what it is that they need to produce as a good business owner. They know exactly what they need to produce as a good student. They know exactly what they need to produce as a sports athlete. So they know exactly what is it that they need to produce, and they produce it at the highest quality. Highest quality. A really good example for this is that you can take a look at Apple. So before this, Apple had a whole bunch of products. So what they did was they look at it and they look at what business are we in right now and what's the next level in our business. So they discarded whatever it is that's not the next level and just focus on that one thing. And because of that, we've got our iPhones. And because of that, we've got our iPads. And because of that, we've got our MacBook. I'm recording from a MacBook. Everybody who I know is using an Apple. Because why? Because that's what they did. They did the PQO over there. And I know some people, a doctor, a friend of mine, a doctor who's a woman, all right? She's a mother, and she takes care of her family. Her husband's not working, so she takes care of her family as a doctor. She homeschooled her child, and she's doing all this thing as a great mother, also at the same time juggling with a really high demand of work as a doctor. That's a really high performance. Because that's what she's producing on a daily basis. And then The last one, high performers, they have heightened and sustained level of influence. Listen, when I learned about NLP, CBT, and all these things, they're great. If you're an NLP coach or a trainer, if you're a psychologist, if you're a PTSD coach, I honor you guys. I love everything that you guys do. All right, I love everything that you guys do. But however, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not anything that is. That's not me. That's not me. I'm just here as a trainer, as a coach, is teaching you about human performance, about human habits. Okay, so high performance, they have this what they call influence. This is what most NLP and CBT people are learning, and they're learning all this to fix all the trauma that's happening inside. But however, high performance, we look at the circle that you're in, the influence that you're in. Because why? Because when you're making a change for yourself, sometimes we tend to forget that there are other people around us that's going to be affected by that, or is going to affect us with that. Because if you guys took my other course, it's called Big Life Journey. So it's a Big Life Journey. We talked about how negative self-talk happens. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please do check that out. It's a really good topic on life in general. So inside that, it talks about how negative self-talk happens. So negative self-talk happens, it comes from the 5 people or things that is surrounding us. So if I were to jump into your life right now and ask you, is what are you spending most of your time on? If you say, okay, I spend most of my time on my mobile phone, on Facebook, on Instagram, my mother, my spouse, and my this really good colleague, my partner, which I really don't like. So if you're spending your time with these 5 things, and if your Facebook is full of negative things such as bad news, panic, chaos, and guess what? Your life is going to be affected by that. So that's why high performance, we look at the influence around, not just at the individual, but the people around them. So that's what high performance is about. Okay, so you might be thinking, all right, Dr. Ray, okay, I'm ready. I want to be a high performer. I want to have clarity in my life. I want to have energy in my life. I want to have courage in my life. I want to be productive. I want to be producing. And I want to have really good influence around my life. So how do we get this? How do we get clarity? How do we get energy? How do we get courage? How do we get productivity and influence? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to High Performance. We experience clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence by mastering the pillars. Where am I on the camera right now? Over here. By mastering the pillars of high performance. So what are the pillars of high performance? High performance pillars comes from purpose and leadership, presence, psychology, physiology, productivity, and persuasion. You guys can't see this, but I'm actually pointing. I don't know where I'm pointing, but yeah, you guys can see that. All right, so it's all about that. It's all about if you can master purpose and leadership, if you can master your presence, if you can master your psychology or your mindset, if you can master your physiology, your body, if you can master your productivity, what is it that you want to produce right here in the big blue box? And last but not least, if you can master the persuasion, that's when you get clarity. That's when you get energy. That's when you get courage. That's when you get productivity. And that's when you get influence. Okay? So, you might be thinking, all right, okay, I'm ready. So, how do I master these things? So, how do I master purpose, presence, psychology, physiology, productivity, persuasion? How do I master all this? So, we're going to take we're gonna invite my good friend here, Mr. Jet Li, Mr. Master Wong Fei Hong. Wow. All right. So how do we master something? Okay. So I took this picture. I like because it's Master Wong Fei Hong. It was an old movie. All right. So Okay, so 5 steps to mastery. In order for you to master something, there are 5 steps that you need to know. So, number one, you don't know that you don't know. What does it mean? It means that you did not know that there is such thing as high performance. You did not know that there is such thing as a qigong. You did not know that there's such thing as this and that and this and that and that. Because somehow, guys, knowledge is so big and wide and it's like it's everywhere around the world. So we can't expect to know everything, right? So since you guys are here, so now you are at step level two. No, sorry. I think maybe you guys are step level three. But let me go to level two first. So level two means, I can't really see here. Let me say, you know that you don't know. So, so at first, it's like, you don't know that you don't know. You don't even know that it exists. I was there. I didn't know that high performance existed. I didn't even know how to Google high performance at that time. So, and then now that I know that, oh my God, I don't know about high performance. So then I started searching, I started going Google and stuff like that. And I started buying the books, attended the course, bought the online program and everything. So now I know. So now I know about high performance. So knowing yourself is not enough. What is it that you need to be doing? You need to practice it. You need to repeat high performance habits every single day in, day out, when it's convenient, when it's not convenient, so that it becomes to level number 4. It becomes automatic. High performance becomes automatic for you. Clarity becomes automatic. Energy becomes automatic. Psychology becomes automatic. Leadership becomes automatic. Everything becomes automatic. But however, as a high performer, we don't live on automation. We're not automatic. High performers are the most fully engaged people in the world. So, number 5, as you guys can hear, you can hear my baby laughing in this, okay? And the reason why I do that, I'll tell you the reason why I'm doing that. But you guys can hear my baby's crying. I'm recording this from home. I hope you guys don't mind. I love working from home. I love working with my kids, and I have just a newborn baby, so he's crying all the time, and I apologize. I really do. But however, that's where the reason why I did this is because it's a challenge for us. Because high performers, they're always challenging themselves. So I'm proposing a challenge. Can you focus on my slides and on me while my baby is crying? It's a challenge. All right. So how do we get mastery? Mastery comes when you know exactly how you're good at the skill that you are. That's mastery. Mastery is about knowing exactly why you're good at tying your shoe. Mastery is knowing exactly why you're good at parenting. Mastery is knowing exactly why you're good at eating healthy food. Because you do know that some people are struggling with eating healthy food. And mastery is about knowing exactly how do you do your job perfectly. It's not doing your job perfectly, but knowing exactly how you do it perfectly. Guys, that is mastery. So what we're going to be doing right now is that I'm going to be taking all of you in to the mastery level. And we're going to master our psychology, our physiology, our productivity, our persuasion, and our purpose and leadership. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to personally invite you to master the first part of high performance, which is called presence checkup. Okay? So, I think I skipped. What's that? Let me just go back. Let me, let me just go back. Okay, by the way, I'm not laughing by myself. I got my wife over here. just recording all this. All right? So, mastery is knowing consciously. Oh, wait a minute. Mastery is knowing consciously, or mastery is consciously known. I don't know. I think I've made a grammar. I don't know. Guys, again, I apologize. English is not my first language. I think I made a grammar mistake. I don't know whether I made a grammar mistake or not. But mastery is knowing consciously how and why you're good at something. Okay? So let's take a look at presence checkup. What level, I want you guys to answer yourself, what level am I in this moment in terms of my emotion and physical vibrancy and present. What does vibrancy mean? Vibrancy means full of energy and enthusiasm. That's what vibrancy means. So I want you guys to take a look right now. Ask yourself, are you present? Ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how present are you? 10 being the highest, 10 being like super focused. You can even see the pimples on my face. Okay, all right. So yes. So how present are you right now? So we go like, oh yeah, I don't know, Dr. A, maybe a 3 or a 4. So what that does is that now you consciously know that, oh my God, is it 3 and 4? So what your mind does is that, oh, okay, we can't live at 3 and 4. We gotta go up. So now you're like a little bit more focused. So how many of you, after I asked that question, are right now more focused than you were 5 minutes ago? Right? So that's what high performance is, guys. So the number one part is that presence. Being present with your child, being present at home, being present with at work, being present where you need to be. That is the first part of high performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, thank you for watching. And let me just welcome you to high performance coaching mastery level, getting you to the next level. So with that, I would like, we're going to cover our first topic, which is psychology, in the next video. So with that, thanks for watching, and live full of energy and enthusiasm. Until next time, not next time. Until the next video, until the next video, we're going to be looking at psychology. Thanks for watching, guys. Live full of energy and enthusiasm. Peace.